Science Comics, Coral Reefs, Cities of the Ocean, Chapter 4. How are coral reefs connected to the rest of the planet? To see this connection, we must look at the oceans and land on a global level. Alright, you zoomed out already. You can come a little closer. We've looked at coral reef ecosystem, but let's go big and look at the global ecosystem, starting with water. Hi again. Without water, we would not have life on Earth. After all, humans are roughly 60% water. Water pans! Approximately 71% of the Earth's surface is covered with water, and most of it is ocean water. So we know water is important. Oh, shucks! But water alone isn't what sustains life. Its movement around our planet is key. This worldwide wandering of water is referred to as the water cycle. Not that kind of cycle. The water cycle has been going round and round since, well, water. The sun heats water on the surface, primarily ocean water, but also lakes, ponds, rivers, even puddles. Water molecules rise or evaporate in the form of water vapor. The water vapor condenses to form clouds. Air currents move these clouds all over the planet. As the clouds become more dense, water drops form and fall to Earth. This is called precipitation. This water either infiltrates the ground or travels along the surface. The same water molecules floating around a coral reef could eventually end up in their drinking water. The salts and minerals don't evaporate, they remain in the ocean. But that's not all. The water on Earth exists in the same amount as when Earth was formed, and it is all the water we'll ever have. It's a constantly recycling system. That means the water that you're drinking is the same water that the dinosaurs drank. What? Don't worry, the water that we drink is clean and designated safe to drink. Phew. Let's rewind and take a look at one specific stage in the water cycle, surface runoff. Runoff from precipitation establishes a direct relationship with land and water. If unregulated, chemicals from factories or refineries can travel in the surface runoff and reach larger bodies of water, like the ocean. Yuck! The same rules apply for trash and litter. A plastic bag that is swept away in St. Louis can travel via streams, rivers, and eventually end up in the ocean. One plastic bag or chemicals from one factory may not seem a big deal compared to how big the ocean is, but it's never just one. Human beings use over 50 billion plastic water bottles a year. If you can remember to say no thanks to plastic water bottles and use reusable items for drinking water, you can help reduce the amount of plastic that ends up in the ocean. Aside from water, there's another item that almost all animals on this planet need to survive: air. Yeah, I know I use my gills to get oxygen from the water, and you humans use your lungs to get oxygen from the air. No matter where you get your oxygen, it's still important. Take a deep breath. Now take 9 more. Those 10 breaths you just took, 7 of them were thanks to the ocean. Photosynthesis is the process used by plants to take in carbon dioxide and convert it into oxygen. For a long time, humans assumed that trees and plants were responsible for the world's oxygen production. Trees do help, but they only supply the earth with about 30 to 40% of its oxygen. No offense, trees. To find the main producers of oxygen, grab your microscope and harrow into the ocean. Just because you're tiny doesn't mean that you're not important. Isn't that right, little dudes? Algae and phytoplankton, an umbrella term for all plant-like plankton, contribute the other 60 to 70% of the world's oxygen. The ocean has played a major role in the global climate for billions of years, starting with cyanobacteria. I was your age. I had to float around the ocean all by myself. Ugh, this story again. All this water and air make it possible for organisms to evolve into the wide variety that we see today. And as stated previously, all animals need to take in food to make an energy. The ocean is full of food and supports many food webs in many different areas of the world. This network of food webs supports humans too. Out of the roughly 7 billion people on Earth, 1 billion depend depend on the ocean for food and work. That's 1 in every 7 people. Even if you don't eat seafood or work on a boat, you still depend on the ocean for air. I'm a vegetarian. Phew! All that oxygen produced by the phytoplankton and algae keeps this planet ticking. The balance is key to the health of the whole planet. No matter how far you live from the ocean and coral reefs, your basic needs are supported by the sea. Let's take a look at some of the challenges that our planet faces and how to keep it healthy.